Welcome to APP, this stream. Happy 10th anniversary to everybody. We are going to have a talk with Bungmonkey and Goabea as first. We are going to have also contact with Jenz and we are also going to actually be able to contact or do an interview with Kempington and Bungmonkey. Those are the 6 people who are interested in actually doing this interview. The interview will be about how they actually acquired APP. Yes, Kempington. The interview is all about how in the past 10 years how they actually got to know APP and what brought them actually into APP. The view for this is actually to give you guys our perspective or their perspective on what brought APP to their attention. First of all, to everybody who's actually watching, I'm going to actually show you guys a trailer of all the things that actually happened in those 10 years, what made a lot of us play probably APP. This is a trailer that was made by G1. I'm not going to show the trailer from APP RTW because that one is copyrighted, sadly enough. But this one I can show you guys. Here we go, and I hope you guys will be interested enough to actually watch this. After that, we are going to go talk with Bungmonkey and Goabea about their experience of APP.
Lots of craziness, lots of opportunities, lots of choices, but only one that matters. Being somebody or being nobody. Right now, you start making some noise.
Every asshole in this city's out there, man, running around with a gun, looking to be a big shot. They got no code, man. They think the law's a joke. Seriously, I look like I'm joking? Yeah, some say we're not much different from them. Yeah, sure, we wear colors. We run in gangs. Some of us wear badges, but that isn't what matters. What matters is, they do it for themselves. We do it to make a difference.
Man, you on your way now. You got a name and a street rep. Wearing the right labels, making the right connections. You got your crew around you. You think you're somebody now, right? You're dead wrong. You ain't somebody. You're just a bigger target. They're gonna be looking for you. If you see them coming before they see you, maybe you still got a chance.
Hey, you might want to start recruiting.
It's happening for you. King of the streets. You got a ride. The crew. The money. The name. The fame. The hype. You got everything you ever wanted. All that matters is making your mark. Let's do some business.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I must say, Merk is right now just taking a leak. So I'm having here Goabea. Goabea,
Hi.
do you want to actually say something about yourself before we actually start?
I think that
who you
Grand
are
Theft
and
Auto trailer
such.
we saw was awesome just now.
Yeah. Who are you actually, and how long have you been
Alright.
playing APB?
Oh god, that's always embarrassing to admit how much I've played because, anyways, my name's Gabriel. I go by Goabea, Snow White, Jackal, Manny Calavera, a whole slew of different fucking names. Am I allowed to say the F word or no?
Yeah,
Anyways,
just
it
talk
doesn't matter.
about it.
It doesn't matter. I have about 9,000 hours. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Quite a lot.
Just adding to the call, Merk. He's finally here. There we go, Merk, you're here. Hello? Anyone? Still waiting. I can't hear anyone. This was weird. Hello?
Oh, if Pound were to join, I just shit talk him the entire time.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we're live?
Hello? We are
Hey.
live. Just saying. Wow, that was a good start. So Merk, do you want to actually explain who you are and what your how long you have been playing APB, or since when you are actually playing APB?
So my first name of playing had started out as Onishima, originally derived from me just being a fucking weeb of liking Onimusha on the PS2. That I had that placeholder name for a long while. When I was about, I think it was around, I was like 12 or 13. There was a Game Informer article that like came out. It was just like a small little snippet, and it was talking about APB, and I thought it was fucking cool. Just the way they were talking about, like, you know, cops versus robbers, you know, customization. They were already throwing this idea out there. I'm 26 now, and if I remember, I was around 12 when the shit was going down. The game came out, I think, when I was 16, so I'm trying to correlate the 4 years between that shit. And then there was another Game Informer article that was like even more open about it, more like RTW spec pictures, high bloom. I remember that at least. So they were talking about like all the cars, the guns. I was fucking phased by this shit, and I was just like, man, I can't wait. I want to be the sniper guy. I want to be the criminal. I'm gonna be a fucking perv teen and have a female character. And I thought it was like really fucking stellar.
About the feelings, like, you saw it standing, or did you see it actually in the magazine, if I may ask? Merk, was it the magazine that you actually opened and it was standing there, or did you just saw the name standing somewhere in the store and you checked it on the internet?
I had a Game Informer subscription when I was younger, so I would just every Game Informer that came out, like, I know people will get a magazine and just like, oh, pictures, and for like a young kid like me, I knew it was weird too that I would actually read the fucking articles. Like, I remember being captivated by Shadow of the Colossus because I read the article. I remember being captivated by Dino Crisis because I read the article. Versus what like younger people wouldn't do usually. They just go through for pictures and the funny snippets and shit. Like, I'd actually read the reviews too.
I used to go through it for the posters. At one point when I was like 15, I had my entire room filled with like Game Informer advertisements for games all over the walls.
Fucking Blood Rain teddy poster from the Playboy.
Oh, I'm trying to remember this one old one where it was like the Resident Evil Outbreak when it first came out. The dude's fighting a zombie and he has like a cocktail Molotov in his pants. And for the longest time, I thought it was his dick.
Yeah, it was the Game Informers that kept me going back, whether it was like me because of how thorough I was reading the magazines, or the issues that I if there was ever anything said about APB, I kind of didn't miss it, and I was already familiar with the internet because I was I grew up on like EverQuest, Sims Online, Quake, PlanetSide 1. Like I was already doing shit like that when I was really young because of my grandmother. Um, so I was kind of already integrated and self-aware of how the internet worked itself anyway. So when it came down to being like consistent of seeing fucking APB, I was excited. Like I wanted to see this shit happen really bad. And then like there was just that time of waiting, every other news snippet now and then. Crackdown came out, you know, there's that. We have
you're actually a fanboy of RTW, I can see.
Yeah, because like I played Crackdown and I fucking enjoyed it, and I can see where some things popped over for APB, and I got that. But when it came to APB and its like whole entirety, like the way it was proposed, all the YouTube videos when that came out, then finally we had the game come out, and as this like big glorious image that I saw it as what the game was. As I grew up with the game past that point when it got sold and went to G1, I paid attention to what people were saying on the forums. I was paying attention to what the devs were giving at, what players or people who like used to work for the company were saying. Like I was learning when I was as young as I was learning jargon so I could be kind of like ahead of the curve instead of being an ignorant like, oh yeah, the devs aren't doing shit for the game. Oh yeah, the game's a laggy piece of shit. Like how we know it, the game doesn't use your GPU, it uses your CPU. It's unoptimized as shit. If you have an old GPU, it'll use it. If it's from hardware back then, and it only uses like one core. Now, if you do isolation processing, like if you have an Intel, you can tell it to fucking use just one core specifically, and it won't jumble around. Or you can leave one core to only process APB, and you have a smooth experience, like I do. Like people bitch about having bad frame rates. I just isolate the process for APB onto one core, and I'll leave it to that.
I see.
And
sorry that I'm going to cut you off here. I just want to wonder what actually Goabea actually experienced also.
To be honest, APB wasn't really ever truly a game for me. Sure, I'd hop on and like shoot people, whatever, but I never really viewed the game as a game. I viewed it more as an outlet for my depression where I would just make stuff, you know? I just make clothing and whatever. People would come ask me, make stuff, I'd do that. And I've been doing that for what? Literally over a year in in-game hours.
Okay, that's a lot. That's definitely a lot. So you're basically a big creator on an
Yeah. I just sit around social and make clothing. I don't really bother people. I just make stuff, you know? The main way I got into APB was me and my friends were playing a whole bunch of TF2 and we were mic spamming and shit. And we're like, we need a new game to fucking bullshit around. My friend Mike brings up APB and he's like, yeah, this game has like some crazy ass customization system, right? Let's all make some weird ass characters and fuck around for like 2 weeks until we get bored of the game. If only he knew those 2 weeks turned into a year for me.
Okay, wow. Yeah, for me, APB stays an emotional place. I enjoyed all my years that I actually went through it. Yeah, for me, it's probably a whole different way that I actually view APB. For me, it was actually about, oh yes, you can make a name for yourself. The game that actually says something for one person individual as for a whole clan and a team who you are actually playing with. To create a name for yourself. That was my drawing points, but at the end I just was a social guy. I wanted to actually talk in social. I enjoyed talking in social, all the people who were talking with voice and without voice, typing. At a certain point I was 24 hours in social. So yeah,
Oh, man.
that's
I remember
my
those
experience.
times.
So there's a total different way of experience. That's something I actually enjoy already in this conversation. So APB is right now, or in a few weeks, or in a week actually, 10 years old. Is there something that made you stay to APB, or is it just now I actually play, and then I actually play, and in the meantime, you had your downs and your ups with the game. Anything that actually changed your perspective over the 10 years of actually playing this game?
For me, it was definitely the way I see people, because I don't know. Since I was always the guy creating clothing, I didn't really go out to missions much unless I had to. In order to spread my clothing around, I had to interact with people. So in a weird way, APB gave me the confidence to actually start talking to people and letting my name be known, you know? Like actually standing up for myself and all this shit. Because I'm not gonna lie, 2013 to 2015 APB was a fucking hellscape, dude. It was a fucking hellscape, and I
High school, fuck it, let's roll.
high school drama everywhere. Yeah, that's really all I had to say.
Okay. We are getting an RTW person, or a person who actually worked on RTW in this thing, in this chat. I just got
sweet.
contacted. Omochabox is going to
No
join us.
fucking way.
Bruh.
Oh my god! Omo!
So I remember her like speed hacking through the district, and then like the
man.
company's like, yeah, that's bad. I'm like, what did she do wrong?
I have tried to actually contact a few people from RTW. Can I add? Fuck.
Dude, this would have been amazing if I had more. It's like we had more time ahead. We could have totally gotten Jack Oakman.
She has around 30 to 40 minutes, so
It'd be like,
here we have
talk to Jackies.
Hey, Omo.
Hi.
Hi.
Omochabox. Welcome to this stream, to this interview. Can you actually explain what you did at RTW, if possible?
I think
to
most
those
people
who
know.
actually...
Concept artist at Real Time Worlds. Worked on the game for like 3 years at Real Time. I don't remember how long a game is first, but it was so long ago. I mostly worked on like everything 2D. I had a hand in it, like UI, or did some of the marketing art, but most of that was John and Tom Stockwell. Symbol designer, me and Tom did a lot of work in that. A lot of the clothes are still like presets in games. A lot of those are mine. Oh, I worked on like a lot of the environment textures as well. Yeah, it was a weird time. They basically got the concept team to do kind of everything. So yeah, it was weird.
Just for probably everybody of APB who still enjoys APB, thanks for actually working on APB. That's from me and probably from a lot of the people actually playing still the game, because probably we are diehards for some reason.
Especially for me.
But yeah, Merc or Goabea, if you have actually a question for 11, Omochabox, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't really remember
I'm actually a bit
how
speechless.
to advance because I have talked to Omo in the past a couple times on Steam. I don't know if you remember me from way
I
back
do.
when.
I still have you on Steam. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, as soon as I saw your name, I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll hop
Oh
in.
yeah.
So, no, it was great to see like people from years ago. Can't believe
Just-
people still play this game.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just as surprised. like one in-game year later, I'm still surprised.
There's a good bit of it where it's like, there's been a lot of like naysay as much as a problem trying to be like, all right, people, it's gonna keep going, and there's only reason just to stay around until it actually drops. And there's a lot of people that just be like, oh, it's gonna fucking fail. But then you look at the IP and the potential for what it is. Like there's GTA. Oh, there's criminals and criminals. They're like, okay, well you can roleplay cops. So like, I'm not fucking doing that. Here I can be a little vigilante fucker. And if you're one of those integrated people like Gabe and I, where we look at the lore and be like, all right, let's make my character part of it. It kind of like emotionally helps you integrate yourself further, because I feel it's kind of like a respect thing. Like you're trying to integrate and be like, I'm part of this world, versus the guys who have like fucking troll avatars. Or, like they all have anorexia and like handlebar mustaches and no
With the
t-shirts
white
and they run
mask
around
and black hoodies.
off-white galaxy
describing
print.
all my alts. Yes.
I have actually a question, art-wise. What is actually you guys' most favorite contact? It's a different question that I was actually asking normally, but I need to actually spread some time.
Alright.
If you could
I'll
actually
jump into
choose a
this.
contact, which one would it be?
Easily, Birth. I identify with him the most. He's literally just some dude who's making stuff in an apartment. He actually made something for the wrong group, and then the wrong group's like, "Fuck you, we're gonna ruin your shit."
That's Gabe's
All
spirit
he did-
animal.
Yeah, he's my spirit animal. He just kind of makes shit, you know, and I love that. He's one of the only contacts I think in the game. I might be wrong. That is directly connected to a clothing brand in the game. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Unless they added something else, but yeah, like I think Birth wasn't anything. It was just one of those random made-up brands that we had.
Like
And then
Zoosh?
later on, when adding more, yeah, exactly, like Zoosh. Oh my gosh,
Don't
that
be a
takes me
douchebag,
back.
but a douchebag.
But, yep. And oh my god, that was one of Tom's. Fond memories of that. But yeah, Birth was one of mine, and it was just like some random filler content we made. So like later on at Reloaded, when he became a guy, it was pretty cool. I mean, Jack was responsible for that, and it was one of the cooler things that he did.
I love Jack. I miss him.
Yeah, there's the I feel like you were talking about it earlier. We're trying to get him in here, and then if it were coming from his brain, I feel like it'd be like somebody trying to explain their explain their fan fiction, but then we realized it's the guy who created this. So it's
Yeah. It let him have all the OCs he wants. I don't care.
yeah. That's why I still
How about you, Merc? What's your favorite contact?
It's Devil Dog, not because I'm a Marine or was a Marine, just as like he was, just because of what is it? Sniping. Like I think it's kind of what is it? He was
The sniper.
Oh, no,
The marksman.
It was a sniper.
yeah. Because for me, it's like more of a support role. It's people don't see that as much with APB. They're all like MLG 420, Skrillex drop the bass. You know, they're trying to. That's like the whole heart for them. But for me, like it kind of reinforces of being okay. It's a support role, and that's like I run around with DMR, whether it's AV or SD, and I feel satisfied with it because I know when I use it, I sit in the back, and whether it's me shooting the cars or shooting the people, my intention is to sit out and back and watch, not like aggressively make it where like it's just a heavier scout. Like I just sit 20 meters away to dock fuckers with it. That's not my thing. But
Okay, that's interesting. Also for Omochabox, you had also Bird on your favorite
A what?
character?
Oh,
for
my
you,
favorite
it was
contact.
also
Oh,
yeah.
it's Double B. It was always going to be Double B. She was, I
B-Bay.
think, like
Okay.
what a lot of people don't know is that like the original Contact concept art, all the really nicely painted stuff before it started moving into like a more vibrant style, was done by Arnold Sang, who was the guy who went on to be the lead character designer of Overwatch.
Aristotle,
So-
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of his like original art, like Sophia and stuff like that, is really cool and zombie, but none of it ever really had a place in the game, because none of it could really be built within the editor. So for me, it's always going to be Double B, one of those original characters that really showed how far we could push the editors and see what kind of characters we could get out. And I always loved Tom Stockwell's artwork for her. She was one of those characters that we would often do like shitty little doodles of and share them about the office, you know? So like, I think there's like a crappy Pokemon card version of her and just some other garbage. Like, she was always the brunt of a joke. Just because she always just looked so great. It's just always that artwork, you know, that bit of key art of her is just always really sold the flavor and style of the game.
she's like the eyepiece or what you say like mascot, because like when you see her, like
You
the
think
way
APB?
her look is, yeah, you'll see Double B. Like there's people that see Double B and see APB, and there's people that see Double B and just think of feet.
Hey, I wanted to
That's
ask
pretty
a
cute.
favor, Omo, if it's not too big. Do you have
Yeah, no
any
problem.
high quality photos of Double B's shoulder tattoo? Because I actually plan on getting that in real life soon.
Oh, don't do it. I know so
Oh, no,
many
no,
people over the years that, like asked me this, and then gotten tattoos. Like, I'm like, what? No, don't do that.
Oh no, I'm already neck deep. I already know what I want. I already
Oh,
got like
no,
4, 5
you're-
to 6 on me.
Yeah, if we made another real live
Okay,
APB
real
character
life.
customized, like it's gonna be Gabe. Like
What?
he's the next one.
just a canvas at this
Um,
point. I probably do actually. I actually have the original real-time worlds build somewhere on a hard drive. Like I have everything. So yeah, I could dig that out. Like, pester
Thank
me in
you.
a month or so when I'm home. Because
Alright,
I know I have high reses of like most of the symbols and the entire game. So yeah.
That's
Go
Oh
in the
god,
hole.
that would be amazing to actually have. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the entire game though.
Nah.
I have
There's some
actually another
private servers
question.
that would love that. but
Necrova.
yeah, just holding on to it for
For now.
don't know, internet
It
archives.
doesn't
There we
matter,
go.
to be honest. To see actually APB right now, we have the 10th anniversary. We are getting the 2.21 beta. Probably a few already have played this, I think.
Yep.
Do you think, or is this the full APB experience, or can it be brought out? Or can it be more than what it is right now? And if there actually would be something that you would actually add to this, what would?
I think the game has an amazing foundation. It's just not enough is built on it, you know?
Yeah,
This
it's-
seems like a building. The foundation is amazing, but where's the fucking building?
It's definitely, it has a placeholder for an IP. Like when I go out, when I go out and maybe say something like, oh, there'd be bank robberies, there's a whole system on it. Like for the IP, the story, it fits the category where it's like, all right, we go rob storefront, we go rob bank, we go public bombing, versus like what we have with current politics. People like, that, that's bad. I'm like, no, but it's a fucking game. That's where this is. This is like Sanparo is literally Chaz if it ever if it ever was a fucking thing. But
I mean, some was more Chirac, if anything.
but there's plenty out there. Like people will say like, oh, racing district, and they're like, oh no, simple things, break it down. Be like, oh, racing kiosk, have props, set things up in a district. You have shit like that. Work with what you've got currently and work around.
So many years ago. So like
Yeah.
2011, when we were looking for things that would be simple to add to the game, and like obviously the team were banging on about doing like a racing district. I'm sure people remember this. the
Oh,
racing
yeah, I
district.
remember.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, that mess. But like for me, I also like a very simple and basic system that would have been so appreciated in the game would just be allowing people to street race so that you
Yeah.
could map out your own what are they called? Those,
Maps?
like loopy
Tracks?
things. Yeah.
The
So
tracks.
like map out the track in like the standard district so that what I always loved about APB was you have this like living world element to it.
Mm-hmm.
So actually having people street racing in the standard districts where other people are just going about all their regular business is what would make it interesting, right? So
Yeah.
I thought that would make it way more fun. And I pitched this way back at Real Time Worlds, and I pitched it again at Gamersverse, and just
Yeah.
whoever listens to a concept artist, right?
It's seeing whether like APB being able to do it because of the engine. I understood like it was about like 4 years in, I realized like their limitations were the engine, but the limitations of the engines are withheld by whether they're gonna fix that or not, and then fixing the game. And that's why there's coming together with ideas where I try to say like, okay, racing district seems whack because you got to do all these things here, but look at this playing field, look at the sandbox we already have. And as you're saying like, oh, open district, having that there, literally kiosk, set your map up, props on that.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to do it, have enough money or prestige with certain contexts, or have raced enough with presets
I love
that you
having
get the
betting.
lockdown that concept. Yeah, you'd be able to have that
give
down and people
consequence
see
to
it.
Have
Not just that.
interactions between the players.
Not just that, but also the interactions between players and missions, because that adds a whole new level of chaos to the race. Let's say your race happens to go past a mission that's going on right now. Oh, enemy team blows up a dump truck and it blocks your route. You have to go find another way around to continue the race. Little things like that also add to the game.
and you have the whole robbery or what is it, storefront robbing stuff that's got a little arrest icon on it. The thing is that could be open-ended. If you put it to something specific, enforcers could be looking like, oh, that's a steering wheel icon beside their name. They're in a quote illegal race, and that would go in turn being turned into a pursuit. So if somebody ram raids, it sees with the cuffs, they could change that, make it something more translucent, or just make every single open world criminal activity literally just be cuffs if they're going to do stuff like that. Or the public bombing thing, where it's going to be like, oh, criminals are doing it for 2 minutes, but no enforcers have seen them yet. Then the bounty goes up, and there's another, there's an alert, and then whoever grabs it first goes over there, sees it. There's a plethora of ideas to input for it, where because open world, it's all there. Whether it's how we have
personally,
phases.
I feel
the
sad
problem
that
that
the
APB always had. You do have this like platform for being able to implement smaller gameplay modes, but rather than choosing to build them up, so kind of like what GTA Online does, it implements this like new game mode, and from there they then modify it and have it kind of meld with other like elements of the game. So and everything's over the last 6 years gotten pretty crazy with it, but they start off simple and build it up. And like I kind of feel like looking at APB now, nothing's really changed in the last 7 years of development, whereas just getting in the foundation, just get in street races and then have it integrate more with like other things that are happening in the districts. But this is all stuff that should have could have happened years ago. It's been standing in stasis, really. I mean, I was actually really interested to hear that Little Orbit have purchased it, because I think that when I read what they've their reasons for purchasing it and the kind of development changes they've been making, it seems like they're actually genuinely interested in the game, which I don't think Gamers First ever really were.
Yeah, they see it's an IP worth profiting off of, and they know they're going to commit to it because it's a unique like avenue, and especially the amount of people to it to be dedicated. Because we look at the APB Discord, there's like 3,500 people in there, but not to say that there's the expanse of what the numbers say on Steam. Versus that, like, there's people that want to play this, and then if there's enough positive reinforcement, there's people that will want to actually come and be like, oh, hey, my friend of 6 years playing this is reassuring me. Like, he told me he stopped playing forever, but he's actually invested into it again. That tells me something's definitely fucking changed, and I should listen to him.
Yeah, it feels like something has changed, though, because all you have to do is look at the individual companies and their history prior to purchasing APB. So I looked into Little Orbit, and they seem like a little indie developer that's really involved in the projects that they're working on. Whereas Gamers First, their whole MO was buying cheap, shitty Korean MMOs and bringing them to the Western market. Or purchasing failed games.
I had to deal with that.
Didn't they have Gunzi also?
I dealt with that so bad when I was younger. That's why my Gamers First account was even as old as it was when APB came around.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, you just look at their business practices and you know that they're... Oh my god, Warrock. Gross.
Poor man's Battlefield. That's all it was.
I've played it too.
Pretty much.
I was 10.
But I think like just looking at the two different companies and how they handle their business and the kind of people that are managing them, I think that APB is actually in really interesting hands now.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel hopeful for the future of APB now that Little Orbit's running it. Seeing what they've been doing, just like with the recent Joker Store changes, I think are fucking brilliant, and something I don't think many in the community would have thought of, But it's a fucking amazing idea.
I'm actually happy with the that they brought this out. For me, I live in Belgium. I have the law issue with everything with gambling on the websites are banned for us. So if we want to actually buy Joker boxes, it is banned. We can't buy it. Same is for the Netherlands, I thought, and a few other countries. And now this gives us the opportunity to buy again legendary guns or something similar, to actually go back to how it was back before 2018. Then again,
actually, I have a question for you, Tricky. Since you're in that unique region, how do they prevent you from purchasing it? Like, are the boxes just not available, period, over there, or no?
If we would buy boxes, Joker boxes, they say we can't provide it to our country. you because our IP says we are in this country, you can't get it. There are ways to go around it. VPN. Personally, I'm not a fan of VPN. I don't want to sell my information to other people, basically.
Smart.
But yeah, that's the only way, and I don't want to actually pay 24 or how much was it, $99 for 1 month VPN. I just don't want to pay that. Same with, I'm not really sure of paying any game that has a monthly subscription. I'm not really a fan of it. I just want to play the game, be able to play it, and when I actually want to buy some subscription, I will buy some subscription. That's the way I actually handle most of my games. That's how I see it. Like, okay, or I play WoW, or I have 600 games that I can choose off which game I want to play on my Steam account. I like differency, and I don't want to play WoW every single day of the year that I'm actually playing a game. So that's the big difference that I have actually between all the games that actually exist. I can promote other people who actually work for games that make decent games, and I don't need to promote a game that is already as old as APB or even older than APB and still wants the same amount of money every month or every 2 months. That's my opinion about it. That's how I view it. I still have one more question for you guys.
Yes, I am.
No, not that question. The sparkle in APB. Do you still feel you have still a sparkle of hope in APB while seeing the age that APB already took or spread your lifetime?
I definitely feel like some glimmer going on. I wouldn't say it's a full-on sparkle. It's a little less than that, but I definitely do feel some type of hope that Little Orbit will definitely turn this game into what it should have been 10 years ago, or maybe 7 years ago. You know?
Goabea?
No, that's literally it. I don't really think too much on this. That was it. I definitely feel something, you know? I'm feeling a warm spot with them.
Yeah, I see.
I kind of hope they make it their own.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of seeing the same recycled art assets, I have to admit. It's like, oh, look, there's that thing we did 10 years ago that's still being, like, color swapped and shoved into some marketing art. It's like, I don't know. They really need to figure out a way to make it their APB. Kind of like what Gamers First did with APB Reloaded, rebranding it.
Yeah.
They need to do the same thing. I think, like, a refresh would really help them.
Okay. Merc?
So the light for me is being as young as I was, and like, if whether it's a hobby or something, for me personally, it takes a lot to be invested into something. Like these past 10 years, I've played other games on and off, and the dedication amount of time that I had, like Gabe knows about the clan that I had. I won the first Joker affiliate contest. Like, I was really happy about it. Like, was really ingrained on it, and that kind of like helped support me to feel like, my character's part of lore. And then I went on to seeing what other people weren't doing, like trying to help newer players, trying to reinforce that whole structure of like making people be welcome. And that is from that I had built up, that encouraged myself to keep going with the game, because I knew eventually something would happen. It was either it's dead and gone and done from the internet, you can't log in anymore, or it's that, hey, it's still here, there's still something, so there's no reason to give up. So when LO came around, I did something that a lot of people don't do, and like research them instead of saying like, oh, Barbie game, what is this? What a joke. I'm like, no, go read their history. The fact that they've been making money this long and they've capped it up obviously means they know what they're doing. Meanwhile, other guy who just plays video games, who doesn't have like a career or anything, or some job that relates to that same field, is like mocking it and be like, well, they're here, you're not, so get with it. So just seeing LO come about, I was really invigorated about it, and just kept me stick around, because I I didn't get to play APB for 2 years before these past 2 years because I was stationed in Japan, and it really fucked with me because I wanted to keep being one with the community as I had before.
I see. Well, thank you for everybody who's joining. Definitely thank you for somebody from RTW for actually joining this interview. I muchly appreciate it. Finally,
Hey,
a
thank
goal
you.
of mine has worked for the first time. But yeah, thank you very much for actually taking this interview. I'm going to go to my next group. That will be probably Jenz and Saintbros. If you guys are interested in watching, do so. I must thank you definitely for actually doing this interview with me, and thank you very much. I don't have anything else to say.
All right, so for some final last words before I disappear, free my homeboy refreshments. That's all.
I see. So yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me interject, especially at midnight for me, to ramble on about this fucking game that just won't die. But I'm glad that people are still enjoying it at the very least. One of my recent hires at the company I work for now was like big fan of APB as well. So it's something that just keeps popping up and it's always a conversation. But I'm glad at least that it's mostly when people talk about it, it's always coming from a place of positivity because obviously working on it for as long as I did across multiple development studios, you know, not every day was a positive one.
Oh yeah, especially with Tech Mech around.
Oh my god, that guy.
I feel like it's opened a whole can of worms with that.
Yeah, that's
BRB going to Sweden to avoid taxes.
Yes, it's part of why, you know, I don't like to talk about APB so much anymore.
All right.
Especially when it meant so much to me and a
So, yeah.
lot of the other artists as well.
Well, would you ever, by any chance, join Little Orbit if they offered you? I mean, it's a whole new company. They're doing a whole new thing. Would you be interested in rejoining them or not?
Dude, I own my own company now, making like bucket loads of cash, doing all sorts
So,
of
I
games,
guess
making
not.
guns and stuff. I have the perfect job.
Hey, we need another J and B legendary. All right, we need it.
We need
Okay.
another artist that we can recycle their art for 10 years.
I mean, they can
I'm
get in
going
touch
to
with
go,
me and
so-
can put my guys on it, but you know, I doubt they could afford us. I'm sorry.
I've fired an AK-12 before, and I can tell you the Ursus is too fucking big for what it is in the game.
All the
Well-
gun scales are like.
To everybody,
But-
I'm going to go to the next group. I don't want to let them
Okay.
wait.
Alright.
I'm going to show the Joker contest outfits right now. So
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
hope
today,
you guys
right?
actually enjoy it. Yeah, I'm just going to let them all go on my stream right now. And if you want to check them out, just check them out. I'm going to my next group. Thanks for actually being here and being part of this. And I will
Hey,
see you
thank
next
you.
time, maybe. See ya. Okay, I'm going to set up right now the Joker contest stuff. There we have all the pictures that are being made by the people who actually made the Joker contest stuff. Who created something for the Joker contest. I need to actually hide these two, and I hope you guys enjoy the trip. I'm getting my other people who I'm going to interview in the meantime. fine. And there we are. Thank you for staying around, everybody who's actually viewing this. At this moment, we have Jenz, Amaka, and Saintbros. Jens, if you can actually explain what you actually did for APB and who you are, that would be awesome.
Well, I'm a guy who played lots of APP and then made a whole bunch of pictures and did some crazy events in the old days, and then but mostly I'm known as a picture guy.
I'm going to actually put a link to one of your pictures, the Goabea picture that you actually created on the.
Yes.
Basically, he is the guy who makes the big pictures with everybody's character on there. The reason why I actually picked you is I want to actually contact or talk about some outfits that you have actually worked on yourself and actually can see on the contest. Also, Saintbros, I have also chosen you. If you want to actually give some explanations of who you are, that would be awesome.
That's no problem, man. Go by the name of Saintbro. I started playing APB in 2017 on the PlayStation, and I met a good dude, goes by the name of Richard. Some of you guys know him as QV or Q. He showed me so much stuff about the game because I didn't know much, and he kind of helped me out with a lot of stuff. And from there, I just started making tutorials and stuff and helping other people. And I'm not a veteran or anything. I just started playing on PC actually. So I have more experience on the PlayStation.
I see. The reason why I chose you guys to be actually part of the same group is you guys actually are intrigued by outfits, probably, because Jens is mostly busy with outfits of characters and putting them in maps. And then we have Saintbros also, who does sometimes a video about how people look in APB. Now you actually see the whole pictures that actually are provided in the APB contest or the Allo Joker contest. What do you think of all the outfits?
You want to go first?
Sure. I was looking at a couple of them today, actually, when you sent me the link, TzickyT.
Yeah.
And some of these guys are really talented, man. The detail in the outfits, it definitely blew me away, man. I was like, how did they think about some of these things that they added into these outfits? I sent you the one that I liked the most. I don't know if there's like extra ones that came in, but the one I sent you with the all red, that one caught my eye. I don't know if you still have it though.
I'm going to go on them later in a bit.
No problem.
So no boys.
But a lot of
yes?
them that you're showing on stream now, I haven't seen those though. I only seen a few of them though.
Yeah, that was the whole list actually. This is the whole list that you could actually choose from. Yeah, you're still amazed probably from all the pictures.
As they're going, I'm like, man, these guys are really talented. You can tell that they spend hours and hours making this stuff, man.
Okay. Jens, what's your opinion about it?
Pretty much what he said. I mean, these outfits are so insanely well designed, and it impresses me even after all these years. Since I was in the early days on RTW APP, and today it still impresses me what outfits they make. Such amazing cool.
Okay, question for you, Jens. You have seen a lot of artwork in outfits. Do you see actually a development in all the outfits that you have seen from the past 10 years till now, actually? Like,
you mean like styles? Like
yeah, styles, or just people who using the same outfits or something, or go with. Are the outfits developing or are they diminishing, in your opinion?
I mean, the quality, like the really good outfits, they always improve compared to the early days. But the styles, those those kept changing all the time. You used to have, a whole bunch of Joker characters, like the comic book Joker characters.
Yes.
Then you would have pink Afro dudes. Then the whole casual outfits with just jeans and t-shirts, and so the style constantly changes. But in terms of quality, yeah, those got increased all the time.
I can see that. Also, a question that I actually ask other people. How did you guys actually come across APB? Did you saw it in a standing place, or what brought you to APB? Or go ahead, Saintbro, maybe if you want to start.
All right. Well, on PlayStation, as you know, they give out like free games every month or every other month in the PlayStation Store. So I always used to go check them out to see what's new, and I go on YouTube before I download the game to see the gameplay, to see if it suits my, see if I like it or not. And I came across APB in the PlayStation Store, and I never seen it. And the cover alone looked really cool. So I looked up some gameplay on YouTube, and the first stuff you see, like the first couple of vids, is like, Sheeny and all sorts of dope fish, so many different people. And I was like, this game looks very different, and it's similar to GTA. So, and at the time I was playing GTA, so I gave it a shot on the PlayStation, and since then I never stopped playing. That was in 2017, like I said earlier.
I see. Jens?
Well, what really got me was the customization. I remember back seeing RTW videos back in 2009. They had whole customization showcases, and I was like, I have to play this game just for the customization. And then only to notice that the gameplay is actually a lot of fun too. So I kept playing and playing until the player count just diminished.
For a lot of people who probably also had the struggle of leaving the game for a while, did it ever occur to you guys?
You want to go first?
I wasn't listening.
Oh. For the part that you actually have played, have you actually experienced a year or so that you felt like this is too much? This game is too much for me to actually play still? Because a lot of people actually, some of the people, had breaks, and I was wondering if you had also probably a year maybe that you would say, no, not for me anymore. I need to break.
Breaks, those happen often, like for 1 week or months, but only about, I think, like several months ago. But I basically kind of like stopped playing for good. I'm not gonna play until the player count increases. I want to play it, but the player count is too low.
Saintbros?
Not really. I keep finding things that makes me want to play. If it's friends, or if it's just new ideas, or even switching over to PC like I did recently. I think I've been playing for a year now on PC. All of that type of little things that I do keeps me interested, because PlayStation and PC are completely two different things. So when I came on PC, it was like a whole new thing. And like I said, my friend Richard, Daxi, and a whole lot of other guys that's watching the stream, they kind of helped me and guided me in playing on PC and trying to get it to be fun for me. So I never actually had a moment where I thought, I don't want to play this game anymore. I did thought about giving it a break. So I did some, like maybe a few months or some weeks or so, but nothing too crazy.
I see. You guys both choose a character that you actually loved from the contest. I'm going to go with the first one. Oh, sorry. Need to look. I have the first one is from Laser. Saintbros, you choose Laser to be actually a character that needs to come in APB. Is there a reason for it? What brings you to make this one the best outfit that you have seen for being a Joker store character?
Okay, that's a tricky one. First of all, when you asked me the question, I wasn't too sure what you meant. So I
Yes.
looked through them and I figured you wanted me to pick out the best one that I liked. And
Yes.
I kind of read it and I figured that this person is going to be the next person to be like in the Joker store thing. So I this one caught my attention because of how it blends. It blends very well with the Joker store. I don't know if they have plans on changing the color of the Joker store or anything like that, but as of now, it blends very well with the Joker store. That's one of the reasons why I took it. The red and everything, it just looks like it blends very well.
Okay, that's interesting. What do you think actually, Jens, about this outfit, if I may ask?
It definitely fits in the game. It's a cool design, not overly designed, just enough.
I see. Yeah, it's a great thing. I don't know if Laser is actually right now here. Yeah, if Laser is here, I think you have a chance to actually win. Because they like it, I think. And they probably know a bit of the designs. Then I'm going to go over the other person who is actually a winner for Jens. Roxel made an outfit. This is the outfit that I took from it. You actually liked everybody from it, but that's the first one. So I'm actually putting that one on there. What do you actually think about it? The same question basically. What makes you want this character to be the next Joker character or Joker Store character?
The reason I like the most about Roxel is not just the outfit designs, but also the character face. He puts amazing amount of little details to their faces. So when the outfit and the face is perfect, well, it's my pick.
Wow. What do you think actually, Saintbros?
This one looks pretty hot too. I ain't gonna lie. I really like it. For me, it's the details. I like the details. Just as he said, the details catches my eye. Like something, the more complex something looks, the better it looks. Whereas the last picture, it wasn't as complex as this one, but still, it just caught my eye because it blended so well. This one blends as well. But
I see.
yeah, I don't know. They're both pretty good. I still like the other one better though.
Yeah, personal preferences. I can't deny that. To be honest, the one from Laser, I like this one more than Laser's one. That's my perspective, because for me this character has something different than what APB has to offer. I find it more static, if I can actually say. Probably my outfit that I actually made on that contest is also static. But this gives actually a new vibe to APB, in my opinion. That's my opinion. For those who actually are interested in knowing my opinion. But yeah, those are actually, for these two persons, the outfits that have a high probability to win. My favorite, I haven't actually chosen one. The one that I like the most is the guy with the orange pants and all the tattoos. That one I actually love. I will need to search that one. I will show that one in a second again. But
Okay.
for now, yeah, we have these two. I can add it in a second if Saintbros or Jens have any questions to each other. That would be great. That I can find the thing.
Each other? Yeah, I have a question. Do you keep making videos all the time?
I try my best to stay active. Like I said earlier, I try to be like creative and find out new stuff to do. Like on my channel, I did different things like a legendary gun test or the outfit thing that Ziki mentioned. Like I get everyone from Xbox, PC, or PS4 in my Discord, and I allow them to submit their outfits or their character designs, and then I post a video up of everyone's designs and stuff, trying to keep it alive, trying to keep people engaged in the game. I even did some other events earlier on, a few years ago, like tournaments and giving away legendaries. I just try to keep it busy, man, trying to get people into the game because it is a very good game. I just want it to function the way it should on console.
That's good. I like watching them, and
Thank
people
you,
like
man.
it's people like you who keep the game, fun and alive.
Thanks, man. I really do appreciate it.
I don't find my guy. Lol. I have all the pictures, I've seen him on the slide, and I don't find my guy. Oh, that's
Can't
so
find
great.
it?
Nope.
You should have saved
It's
it,
so
man, on the
frustrating.
computer.
Okay, I'm going to take the other one. Because... Oh, I found it. There we go. Done. Let's do this one. I would actually choose... It's not actually a guy
Oh,
that
Dang.
gets maybe popular comments, but if you can actually see, this one, if this one could actually replace one character, I think everybody knows who that character would be. I love the design on this character.
Yeah,
It's simple and it's so much. Like, you can't compare it with any of the other outfits that are actually created in the drugstore thing. You have several others, but this guy is just, make this a criminal guy.
Yeah, I
Obvious.
wish I saw this one first. I would have definitely picked this one. I didn't see this one.
If I can actually add one other, you can actually go... Saintbro, if you have another question for Jenz or something, I will
Not of
actually
anything
look
that I
for...
can think of. Not anything that I can think of. Do you play on the EU or on the NA on PC?
He plays on EU.
He plays
Well,
on EU.
you probably noticed my accent, so I'm probably from the EU.
Yeah, good point. But how long have you been playing though?
Oh my god, since the RTW AVP closed beta.
Really?
So from 2009, I think, yeah.
Jeez. And
Ow.
since then you haven't stopped?
Pretty much, like only like 6 months ago or something. Finally, when I decided I'm gonna take a break until the game has lots of players again.
Right.
So
What kept you doing it though? What kept you playing all that time?
well, it's the people and the gameplay. The gameplay is a lot of fun. That's what I really like, and that's why I want more players. So I don't have to fight against same people over and over again. And then
That's actually a good point.
and then of course the pictures. I like making pictures, and I'm still working on the big project. By the way, if anyone's wondering, it is still happening.
Okay, that's dope. That's pretty dope.
Okay, this one is actually the other one that I would actually like. The reason why this one actually got my attention is it's an older person.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And everyone in APB, from the female persons, are younger or have an visual outlook that is actually younger than 20 or 30 years. This character can be 40 to 50.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if I actually look to it.
Yeah.
And still looks stunning for an APB character.
It's a very rare.
I like that point that you made, man, Ziki.
Cheers for the butts. You're welcome. For me, it's more like people have certain artistic measurements and ideas in their head that they want to actually bring up. through all the viewpoints. I am wondering if from this year till maybe 10 more years, if we are going to see new outfits that will be giving APB a brand new layout of characters.
Right.
What's your vision actually on the outfits that has been created now and the outfits that will actually come future?
You want to start, bro?
Like what kind of outfits?
What kind of outfits do you think that will actually fit the APB scene?
I mean, I would just like to see one outfit. That's the full bodysuit. That's it.
Full bodysuit.
Like a very shiny,
Okay.
like a very shiny one or not shiny one, because it allows players to go crazy with the whole, adding symbols and everything. So you can create really crazy outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
Same bros?
What I would like to see, right, is maybe it doesn't fit APB, but something that I personally would like is like maybe like more urban outfits or like accessories or something like a bucket hat or like a different type of hoodie, more baggy, if you know what I mean.
Yes, please.
That type of look would be very nice, more urban, because now it looks kind of, I don't know, skateboardy, you know what I mean? But it should add more urbanness to it.
I see. Okay. What would you guys think? I mean, I'm just trying to actually get something out of my head. Loose tank tops.
Loose tank tops?
Yes.
I like that. That's cool.
Like,
Yeah,
you know those tank tops that actually go way down or more down than normal ones?
Yeah.
I'm talking about those basically.
Yeah.
Would you actually see that fitting in APB or an example? Give me a sec if I actually can find one.
I mean,
That'll be nice.
ABB already has some kind of crazy sci-fi outfits and everything, so you might as well add everything in the game. Just allow players to go nuts.
Yeah.
But first, the full back outfits and all that first, then the crazy outfits.
I'm going to just link it in the thing. Oh shit. Fuck. I hate this. Just copy it and you will actually see what I mean. That's what I actually mean as an outfit. I'm actually a person who actually likes loose outfits, loose tank tops. I find it interesting to actually create something on them. I don't know if you guys can actually check it out too. I'm not going to make a picture out of it because I have no idea if it's actually appropriate or not.
Right. I'm trying to copy it right now. It's not showing up for me.
If I actually can find another one, I'll show you another one.
Okay, I got it. He sent it to me on Discord. I think we need that. That falls under urban. To me, in my head.
For me, that's actually interesting. Or gives me an interesting look to it. But yeah.
I like it.
Would definitely use it on my character.
Me too. 100%.
You're welcome. A little question for Jenz. You have made RTW. You have played in RTW. I was a person who was creating my character and never got on a server on RTW. But you see two covers on the screen, APB Ultimate Bulletin or APB Reloaded. Which cover makes you play the game more, and which one would you actually suggest more to actually a viewer, if you could actually buy one of the two?
Obviously, the RTW one, because it clearly shows left side is the criminal and the right side is the enforcer. And you immediately get the idea of the game. It's cops and robbers, whereas the ABB Reloaded feels like you're just a gangster in the town. That's it.
Yeah.
I can see that. That's a very interesting way of looking into it, personally.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
Wow, I didn't saw that one coming. I have no idea what actually the PS4 cover looked like, Saintbros. Was it the same one as APB Reloaded?
Let me let me go check that out. That's a good question.
If you need to check that, just don't. We don't really have a lot of time anymore.
Okay.
Do you
I
remember?
I can't
What?
remember what it looked like. I really can't remember what it looked like.
I haven't found it anywhere, so
Give me 2
there's no
seconds.
screenshot on it. Yeah,
Give me 2
go ahead.
seconds. My PlayStation's right there. Be right back. Hold on.
Then I probably have a last question for you guys. Do you? I'm going to ask you already, Jens. Do you still see a spark for APB? Do you still see something that makes you still play APB or would play APB?
I'm back.
I'm really hoping the engine update comes in and then it brings a whole bunch of players, especially the old players. I know there's a whole bunch of people who said, I'm gonna play until the engine update comes in. So I'm expecting lots of players coming in.
See?
That's the little spark. I really hope it happens.
Okay, that's interesting. Simbros, you saw the picture?
Yeah, I saw it. It resembles the right one that you have displayed on your stream right now. It resembles the one on the right. They just added a little bit more color to it with a lot of yellow. But it's the same thing basically. And that one caught my eye. I never knew about the one on the left. Me personally, I never knew about
And
that.
which one would you actually prefer if you see those two?
If I see those two, I would prefer the one on the left because the cars, like I'm a big car freak as well. And the cars, it just gets you wondering. Let's say you never played the game before and you see that cover, you're gonna think, wow, is it like some type of racing mixed with some like cops and crooks, or it gets you wondering because you see the race cars in front of it.
What gives you the spark for APB? Is there still a spark that makes you want to play APB more?
I still have the fire, if you want to call it that. I still have the fire to play. It kind of died down a little bit, but that's just because of me personally. I get tired of stuff quick, so I gotta try to find ways to make myself play. But as of now, I still love to play it. I wish the console would get a fix sooner, because I like playing on the console a lot.
I see. Last question, and this one is actually important for everybody from us. I'm just going to put it heads up first in front of everything. The login screen. Yes or no to the login screen? This one is probably the hardest question of them all.
Yeah, it is.
What brings, if you see this login screen, and you probably have seen the other one already enough times, what makes you want this login screen more or less than the other one?
You want to go first, bro?
Well, sure. Well, the reason I would pick the old one because it has style and it doesn't need to load the whole asset before the game launches, so the game starts way faster. And also, this just looks better. Once again, left side criminal, right side police people, and that's it. It's like perfect. You don't need full-blown action, explosions, and everything. Those two images that explain everything what you're about to play the game.
Okay, same bros.
I co-sign what he's saying, man. What he said makes a lot of sense. And I'm not really picky about the loading screens anyway. I'm just trying to get in the game. But this looks really cool. I like how it's moving, the dynamic stuff in it, and everything that he just said, pretty much, to be honest.
For me, this is actually the dream coming true. If this comes back to APB, I'm loving it.
I see in chat they said bring it back. So what you're saying is this used to be the logging stream
This
before?
was the RTW
Okay.
screen, and this has been the screen till 2016 or 2017. I'm not sure anymore. The last 4 years we have been on the new one that you are seeing right now. This, for me, this is actually creation, gameplay, and factions all together in one. And with the new one, I see only factions, and I don't see creation. I don't see anything that hypes me up. This hypes me up like crazy. I have no idea why, but it hypes me up like crazy.
I could imagine how someone like has been playing from such a long time, like you guys from the beginning. Because when you first start playing a game, the first impressions of the game sticks with you forever. So I could see why people that know this loading screen might want to have this back. I totally get it.
Okay, that was it actually for the interview. Much thanks to Jenz and Saintbro. If you actually want to say something to the community still, you can. Whatever you want.
All right, I see some people. I see some known faces. Yo, I love all of you guys, man. I see All Star, Richard. I don't know where Ben is. I see Duxie, and I hope I didn't miss anyone else, man. And thanks for having me, man. Ziki, I really appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. You were my last hope. So.
Yeah, good old Saint last resort.
Jens. Probably everybody wants to know when the new picture is coming. Probably, like you said, it's coming.
Yeah, I'm working with the largest group photo thing, and it's still going. It's just absolutely pain in the ass to work with. That's all I can say. But it takes a while, so maybe next year. And also Heis Actus.
So yeah, thank you for actually joining. Thank you for actually taking this interview with me. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe enjoyed the other interviews that I already did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's just to have everybody have a view on what APB was back in the day and what it has to offer now. It's all about APB. If APB was a person, this is what I actually could give it, and I want to give it to the community too. So thank you, Jenz and Saintbro, for actually joining. I will actually do a live trailer from people who made a live trailer for APB, and I will talk to you guys in a few minutes. Just looking for where it is, the live trailer. Have it, trailer. Fuck. Live trailer. There we go.
Simply manifest. rest. You started out average, shooting tied 9 to 5 till you broke free. The savage deep inside became alive. Nothing else can stop you, moving like a juggernaut. What you got is far beyond the reach of an astronaut. You are now an entity which can't be explained. Changing your identity in the middle of the game. Ducking sheet covered in the rain of the tech. Life's a hotel, and you ain't about to check out yet. Call for backup, it's time to regroup and reload. Lock and load, make it count, now it's time to explode. Go! Cold-blooded, bring it to whoever want us, and I dare you. One phone call, your block flooded. I move like a lion in the land of gazelles. I prey on the weak and the strong know me well. I'm an equal opportunity destroyer. My legend is colossal. Anything vertical's horizontal. My being is supreme. Competition getting cream. Heartbeat cease when I step up on the scene. I am much more menacing than Edie. I mean, I wipe out a continent before the sun beams. I master my universe. I am what I dream, and I truly believe to be all you can be. Anything you see on the earth, you can't stop me. You can't stop me. She can't stop me. They can't stop me. Stronger than you ever been, bigger than you ever were. I am more significant than anything you see on the earth. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. She can't stop me.
APB is a third-person, persistent online action game set in the contemporary crime-torn city of Saintbro. When entering the game for the first time, players choose to be part of a world playing as either enforcers or as criminals. Each world holds up to 100,000 players you can interact with while you play. A world is subdivided into district instances. These instances, or district copies, allow 100 people to fight per action district or 250 people to chat, trade, and customize per social district. You or your group can move between instances at any time, allowing you to meet up and play with everyone in the world, other players, friends, or arch rivals. In APB, you can encounter thousands of enemies, and each one is another player. This is made possible by APB's unique dynamic matchmaking system. This system constantly monitors your actions, statistics, and current objectives, and pits you against enemy players from the opposing faction, selecting those who will give you the right level of challenge. The first thing you'll do when entering Saintbro is choose which of the two factions to join, and then create a character using our groundbreaking character creation tool. This tool gives you unparalleled control over how your character looks and feels, from major changes such as height and weight, down to fine control over muscularity, iris color, scars, and hairstyle. Every character is unique. Once your character is complete, you enter into one of our tutorial districts. The first district you will see is the Financial District, an area of Saintbro known as Haviland. This district has skyscrapers and shopping malls at its heart, extending out to warehouse and industrial units on the outskirts. With features such as parks, riverside clubs, and a broken-down overpass, there is a wide range of play spaces for missions to take place.
1981, I emerged the son of two music lovers, the rest was done. Basement.
The second of the action districts is Waterfront. A tourist attraction for Saintbro, Waterfront plays host to a marina, hotels and shopping malls, as well as the harbor and dockyard areas, where warehouses and container yards bring a new style of play to missions.
Dance hall and blues, classic rock Italiano and them b-boy grooves, 'cause of course I'm all hip-hop and drum and bass. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, where the gang...
The last of our districts is the Social District, also known as Breakwater Marina. Here, no fighting is allowed, and players of both factions can chat, trade, and customize in one of our 5 customization studios. Here, you will also find exclusive faction-specific items for sale, and display points, a means to show off your creations. After completing a tutorial with your first character, you will be let loose in the city of Saintbro.
Started freestyling at the age of 14 in the back.
Welcome all. Thank you for the interview and thank you for staying already for this interview. Now we have actually Kempington and Bungmonkey together. 2 people who have been around this community for the longest time, I think, or pretty famous for the longest time. Bungmonkey, if you want to actually say who you are actually for everybody. That would be handy.
I'm a stranger to this community. If anybody could let me know what this game is or where I am, that'd be great. So I've been gone for about a year, but I was streaming pretty frequently before that. I guess I was. I think I won the top streamer position on NA mostly by attrition. Everyone else left or got banned. So yeah, I was pretty famous.
That's impressive
for this community for a while. Yeah. Yeah, staying power, that's the key. Stick to it, no matter how bad an idea it is.
Yeah. Kempington, I'm pretty sure everybody knows you by now. You're the biggest streamer of APB at this moment.
I thought I was just the residential angry guy.
Yeah, you're not as angry as you used to be.
You have the most viewers on a consistent basis, I can say. Okay. What brought you guys actually to APB? Did you see it in a store and just bought it, or do you have actually a story about it?
I say Kemp should go first on this one.
Oh, bollocks. You're not going to get a word in then. This is your own fault. All right. Okay, so it's to kind of simplify it as much as possible. I got in wind of APB back when there was a brief trailer of it released by WebZen, who were the original company behind the whole idea. So it was WebZen and kind of sort of Real-Time Worlds. This was back in 2005, where they had at least a concept video of the game and what they wanted to create. And as you know, it went through multiple iterations through those 5 years, where they then received additional funding. And it was only until 2008 and 2009 when I saw that original alpha footage from the guy that they got from Unreal to go through with one of the community managers at the time for Real-Time Worlds, when they did like a drive-through of it. It looked really interesting. It was something completely different to anything that I'd played before at that time. And you know, compared with stuff like GTA, I had played San Andreas before that, and a little bit of GTA 4, but this looked like something completely different. This looked like GTA 4, but with actual multiplayer that actually was interesting. It looked a lot more interactive than anything else, and the amount of customization, which I'm guessing everyone has said at this point, was the huge kind of wow moment for me, because I hadn't seen any game do anything remotely close to what APB achieved back then. So I managed to, at that point, they were sending out emails, and you could actually sign up to a newsletter where they would inform you of any updates on the game. And that was at that point they were starting to ask people for DX diag outputs of their machine, and to register interest into getting into a closed beta, of which I then got into the heavy hitters wave for the closed beta, and it was an experience I could never replicate because it was incredibly fun. Live, then it finally went live, and all the controversy behind it and all of that. But aside from all of that, it was the fact that the world felt at the time incredibly lived in, and at the time it was quite a decent sort of, from a graphical perspective, quite a decent looking game. And for the most part, for me, I was a lot younger back then, it was just fun. It was an enjoyable experience, and I really did enjoy mostly every moment with that. And it was a shame that it kind of dropped out so quickly. At that point, I kind of moved on to other games at that point. I was very disappointed that APB had basically died. And it was late 2011, early 2012 that I heard that some other company had bought it out. A friend of mine, actually, on Steam at the time, had told me that APB had come back, and I didn't believe them, checked it, and yeah, it exists, and it was free to play. I hopped back on, started my first character on Joker, which was Kempington, and, well, everyone else knows the story by that point.
Did you always use Kempington in RTW also?
No. I had a criminal called Kemp, and I had an enforcer called Alea. So Alea's been around since RTW. Kempington, at least in some shape or form, has been around since RTW, but he didn't actually wear the full kind of fancy outfit and top hat and mustache.
Did they even have fancy outfits back then?
Yes. So basically, what you'd have to do is, it was the same thing that I've done here. You get the closed suit jacket, the basic work shirt, and nice trousers. They had all of that in the game, and you just used symbols for the rest, which is effectively what I've done now. But obviously, we've gotten some other fancier clothing in the meantime, on top of everything else.
Ben, what was your first experience, or?
Yeah, so I'm kind of an old fogey as this community goes. So by the time the ridiculous $50 million marketing campaign had started, I'd already kind of dropped out of paying attention to things like E3 and whatnot, because E3 is nothing but lies, as I hope we've all learned by now. So I literally hadn't even heard of APB until Gamers First had bought it out, and like, somebody in my gaming community, which was Action Half-Life historically, which is actually funny because APB Vendetta wanted to actually make essentially an Action Half-Life sequel. But anyway, they introduced me to the game, and they were like, this game is really interesting, this is really weird and really brave. And I hopped on it, and I think this was during probably closed or open beta for Gamers First. And yeah, it was a really weird, really brave game design. I was very shocked anyone would actually attempt to do half of the crap they did. It's like at every level, they're just giving players so many tools, so many options, and just letting them go hog wild. I've never seen anything like it before. So yeah, I stuck around because I like things that are interesting more than I like things that are good. But sometimes interesting is good enough.
Okay. We have the game how it is now. Have you ever dreamed that APB would actually take 10 years? Or do you guys think it needs to be shut down?
So
like, a lot of people say shut it down, and then other people actually want it to live. I'm one who actually wants it to live, but
I think most of the people who are saying shut it down are just doing it for the memes more than anything else. And if there are people who are genuinely feeling that opinion, then it's kind of weird. It's not really as comparable, but it's like wishing death on someone, which is just completely pointless.
That sort of disproportionality is kind of endemic to this community. And to be honest, like, a lot of us when we were younger were like that. We were like, if we couldn't internalize a set of motivations, we wanted them destroyed because we're just uncomfortable with them and continuing to exist. It's it's something you'll see a lot in young people, and as we grow up, we get a little bit more sophisticated about how we do reasoning about values.
All right, Granddad, speak for yourself.
Man, have you tried watching your old streams, Kempington?
Yes.
You understand? Like, you look back, you're like, wow, I was really fucking disproportionately angry back then,
Mate,
right?
I was in my 20s. I'm just immature.
Yeah, it's like
like
we all get better at this stuff over time. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are in this community who are still really young, and like that sort of mentality is going to come through with things like wanting the game to die because it didn't work out perfectly for you.
So I think the main thing is I don't mean to get a bit personal here, but I'm sure people want to hear this from my perspective. Essentially, anyone who's watched me from like 2012 up to like 2016, 2017 and 2018 weren't so great either, but 2012 to 2016 especially, I was incredibly aggressive, and it was mostly justified by me believing that I was just being a competitive player, but it really does kind of shine through as just being incredibly toxic. And the problem is when you're in the driving seat, you don't see what impact it has on other people when they're watching you. And that's kind of a life lesson I've learned as I've done streaming. You have to appreciate it from the perspective of someone watching you. And when you realize that, you know, what you're saying is incredibly influential in some cases to some people, even at a kind of subconscious level, you have to take into consideration that people will just do monkey see, monkey do sort of attitude with what you say. You know, if you do it, then it seems to be acceptable for everybody else to kind of follow suit. So that's why, you know, I do regret being quite a bad influence in that regard. And if I was going to do things differently, I definitely would have had a much calmer sort of approach to it.
Yeah, I do admire the progress or the level of responsibility you've taken on, and commensurate with the level of authority the community has given you.
I try to. I try to do what I can, but there's always bumps in the road, unfortunately. The main thing is, back to the main question, so this isn't just, hey, we interview Kemp about him. I'm really surprised that APB's lasted this long, to be honest. It's weird because you don't notice the time go by when you're so passionate about wanting a game to do better, and you don't realize how much time has passed before any major updates actually come through. And it was a very sneaky way that Reloaded Productions actually handled things. And that was the problem. That was the biggest problem, really. You didn't really notice that the years were going by and nothing extremely major was actually changing. They're adding a bit of content that was from RTW that never got released as a drip feed sort of system, but for the most part, there was nothing actually new or fresh to the game. By the time they got to that point, half of their development team had already been laid off, and they were kind of struggling for ideas and wondering what they were going to do next.
I see.
Outside of the engine upgrade. So I'm incredibly surprised more than anything else that the community has been so stalwart in their belief that this game can do something, and more importantly, how passionate a lot of people are in the community still to see this game do well. They may come off as aggressive and toxic and say the worst about the game, but they're still here. They're still playing the game. They're still waiting for something to happen, even though they never say it. Now, I'm not going to say that's exactly what they're thinking, but that's what it comes off as.
Kemp?
Yeah.
Just going to stop you there. I would like to actually also know Bung's opinion, to actually know the two differences in views also.
Absolutely, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit more cynical about the whole thing, because like from the very start, at least from my time, I've missed RTW. The gamer's first social contract of the more time you invest and the more money you invest, the more in-game advantages you have, I think was never really sustainable. I think anybody who really engages with that, like this belief that they have a right to make other players miserable, just by virtue of seniority and cash spent, is not healthy for constructing the community. It attracts people who are just happy to make other people miserable, and that's why we get like a community full of very angry teenagers, is because like they want to they want to be competitive and aggressive, and they want that advantage. And a lot of the people who like are a little bit more socially conscious, a little bit more have better intuitions about how to do moral reasoning around social interactions, they sort of see what APB, the social contract in APB, and they run screaming. and usually they use the wrong terms to systemize their moral intuitions. But like the actual the term they use, of course, is free to play, which is, or excuse me, the pay to win, which is not really the correct term, because fundamentally whether you pay in terms of time or money is not that interesting. But that just means that like unemployed 13-year-olds on their parents' laptops can compete at a similar level as people who have the money to buy guns and such. But that's not, that's like useful in some sense because it's a little bit more inclusive for the community, but it's not the thing that we really want, which is to generate positive externalities by participation. We want like people to be happy that other people are playing, and it doesn't matter what those players are doing, and hopefully the more invested they are, the happier they're making everyone around them. But that's not the social contract we got, and to that extent I think APB's always fighting against this sort of psychological decay within the community.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, very quickly, I just wanted to add a quick little point to that as well. I feel like it's mostly built up on the fact that we've got this theme in APB where the whole idea is to become popular. So you kind of have to trample over everyone else to become the top dog. And it unfortunately, the way that APB is kind of stylized and designed, and the focus is on your character and his customization and being the big shot, it's all about, unfortunately, it has this undertone of ego boosting. So everyone's trying to scramble on top of each other else, demoralize everyone else to be the top dog, which is the unfortunate circumstance of creating such a game.
Yeah, and I don't think that's necessarily intrinsically necessary. Because, like, as has been demonstrated by the explosive popularity of like PUBG and Fortnite, if you can sell a game on fairness and rather than like in-game advantages over time, you can get a lot of people on board and be pretty happy. And we see this even better with things like TF2 and Dota 2 and whatnot, where like Valve specifically structured it so that participation in the community generated positive externalities for other people around you.
Yeah.
And
I see.
Of course, this is where they completely fucked up with Artifacts. Artifact is using the APB model, and it fucking tanked. Like, people understood the Valve social contract, and when Valve violated that social contract, they got angry.
I see.
Artifact.
Yeah.
Similar thing happened.
I still have two questions actually for you guys.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I know we're short on time.
Did APB the game APB actually make something a different person from you in the past 10 years in real life? Like, did something change, or did something actually change in your daily life while actually playing APB?
Well, I started streaming APB just to see, number one, if like I could take on the sort of the total psychology of the community and see if I could like manage that, and it was interesting. I kind of halfway managed to like see if I could like teach people a better way of interacting with each other, and like teach them how to like emotionally confront difficult circumstances, especially in like how to assess themselves and assess the people around them.
And did you think it worked?
Yeah, I think I delayed some of the inevitable, but I don't think there's any winning with APB as it is.
Kempington?
It's not really, nothing really in my life changed when playing APB. There wasn't any kind of major restructuring that I had to do, or anything enforced or imposed by playing APB. I was always going to stream because the thing behind the streaming was something that I had planned to do before I even started playing APB. Well, back before I started playing APB Reloaded. Let me just clarify that.
I see.
To me it was incredible that the stream has gotten so far, and I personally never believed we'd ever get anywhere remotely close to where the stream is right now. Even if it's not that far, that's still a huge milestone for me. But honestly, my life, I try to keep what I do here and the stuff I do in real life separated, so one does not affect the other. So I try to balance it as much as possible. So in that regard, no, it hasn't really affected much at all.
There is a video of you that is actually when you were playing, where actually the whole community was actually hunting you or running after you with some commotion. Do you think that actually changed something with your streaming, or?
That was the start. So I hadn't realized how much of a knob I was until it started really becoming evident with more stream snipes, people basically giving back what I was dishing out, and evidently at the time I couldn't take it, so I just instigated it more and fueled the fire. And it was only a matter of time before I had so many bad streams, I was just depressed on stream. That's something like that it would eventually just get worse and worse. But that was a moment where a community of people on Joker decided to do their best to try and cheer me up on stream, and I've never seen anything like that before. And it was an incredibly heartwarming moment. I'm not going to say that was exactly the turning point, but it was the first moment of steps that I would want to take in the future to get to a point where I'm not the same person I was back then. And it took a very long time, but I'd like to feel personally that I'm really not that person anymore.
That is actually the video that made me follow you. Just going to say it. Personally, I found that one of actually the action of actually the people doing this to you. I found that one of the best moments that APB ever had shown on video.
Shout outs to Nova and all the people from that. I can't remember.
Definitely one movement that I would actually stand for behind 100%. Then
I'd say that was one of the APB community's really good moments. I think they came together for that.
And
I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
That's one that is going to stick on my mind for a long time. Also, do you guys actually see a Spark still in APB, or do you guys still have a Spark for APB?
The game is like.
Or is that Spark totally gone?
Good. This gameplay is really good. It's still way braver game design than almost anybody else is doing. Like the amount of just letting the player do whatever they want, the amount of freedom they give, the amount of tools they give, and just letting them go loose is something you do not see in online games, especially not online competitive games. So there's always going to be room for the real progress with this game if anybody wants to take it on.
Sorry, I wasn't sure. Okay. So the Spark disappeared for a couple of years for me. I have a kind of biased view on this because obviously I know a bit more of the internal workings, as it were, being in the SPCT for so long. And because of that, I could see the way things were going. I had contact with some of the top people, in the business back then. Not like first name basis or anything, but I could get in contact with them regarding some stuff. And it was definitely an interesting experience, to say the least, to see how things were slowly but surely turning for the worse. And to the point where between 2016 up to 2017, before Little Orbit took over, I was pretty much done with the game. And I was just doing it out of respect for the fact that everyone got me to where I was on the stream. But since then, and again, it's because I know things and obviously what Little Orbit want to do, I would say that Spark has definitely reignited because of the commitment and dedication that this new team has towards making APB as good as it can be. They're not in it to just make the small-term profits and long-term losses, and the quick buck. They're there to actually make the game better. Their intention is to actually make a product that is fun for everyone, rather than try and make as much money off something that had some clout back in the days for being a AAA title.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit more bitter and say I don't really see anything fundamentally changing about APB so far. It's like they really aren't addressing the social contract at all, which is, and they announced that very early on. Like Matt Scott, like right from the get-go, I think he literally said we are not looking to change the monetization, which is like I consider that to be APP's central problem. It's like initially they tried the World of Warcraft monetization model, and that didn't really work out for them. And then they tried this free-to-play thing where like it was a Korean MMO thing where like you the more time you spend, the more you get to screw over other players and make them miserable. And like you can't build a social scene on that. Like it's just going to collapse over time.
Well,
and, like the thing I'd really like to see is a thing that Martin PL actually put forward on the forums, which was to make all the sort of a payday 2 model where if you buy a DLC, you get to share it with whoever else you're playing with. So anybody in a mission gets to use anybody else's DLC. And then the other construct being the MOBA thing where you get to blacklist anything that gets out of hand. Where like if the company releases, say, a completely broken gun, they make a bunch of changes to the shotgun and release a gun that is completely busted and fucks up the game for a month. Like we have an option there. Like we need to be able to give them feedback that is actually like a pure economic incentive for them not to fuck up. And we don't really have the opportunity to do that right now.
There is a big problem with that. I'll make this as quick as possible. Sorry.
Yes.
The biggest problem with absolutely. So the biggest problem with that at the moment is, they do have to make money off this to actually, keep the servers running and actually be able to fund the developers who are actually creating content for the game. And the problem is they're in a really tight spot at the moment because there aren't presently many options on the table that they can monetize because the majority of the game is accessible for the players. The thing that was monetized was the thing that is directly impacting the main aspect of the gameplay. But the actual other side of it, which is all the customization, didn't really get monetized at all, which is kind of in complete reverse of what you see with other games nowadays, where the gameplay itself is not locked at all or monetized that much at all, and some quality of life stuff that makes the game more interactive in terms of customization is where the monetization is. And Phantasy Star Online 2 is a good example of this, and that's where they make their money. But because of where they are at the moment, they'd have to completely rework everything that they're doing in order to give themselves options for the future. So it's a little bit tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say, like, for the record, I have spent $63 on this game specifically because I don't want to be seen as generating negative externalities from my expenditure. If they sorted out their monetization model, I would turn into a whale. Probably not on the scale of Kempington, but I would spend many hundreds of dollars on this game.
I'm not going to tell you how much I've spent.
We all know, Kemp. We all know.
No, you don't. It's worse than you think.
I think there's a lot of people like me
I have
who
one
wanna
question from the
support the
audience. I have one question from the audience, from Sextus. Do you guys believe back then that this game will be a celebration of 10 years APB? Yes or no?
No.
Gonna go with no.
Okay, that was interesting. I see that in 9 minutes we will actually have to go to Hello Stream. Then the stream will be open for the 10th anniversary. Happy 10th anniversary of APB, by the way. I have actually one thing more to say to you guys. Do you still have anything to say to the community? Anything you want to let out, or anything you want to actually talk about?
I still love all of you.
That's interesting.
That's it, really.
I have no opinions one way. No, I'm joking. No, I'd have to say thank you very much to everybody in the community for being as supportive as you have with my stream, with my attitude in general through the years. And honestly, realistically speaking, if what some of the things have happened didn't happen, I probably wouldn't still be streaming APB today. And people know what that is. That's the, that video that was made, the people constantly supporting the stream, constantly turning up. It's always good numbers when I'm streaming APB, and that's always a nice thing to see, even when I only do it once a week. So I really appreciate that everyone still has time to watch my shit.
Oh yeah, I wanted some ASMR. I'm sorry.
I think there are a lot of people who actually like you streaming.
Come on, man.
That's kind of it for the interviews. Much appreciated for all the people who are actually watching. Also, much thanks for actually everybody who I actually could interview. Definitely much love to the person from RTW. I forgot her name.
Omochabox.
Omochabox. Sorry,
You should've
I'm
ended
totally.
this stream with her. Holy Moses, she was great.
Yeah, sadly it was midnight for her, and she said, "I only have 30 minutes right now. That's it." So yeah, it was that or nothing, and I took that. So yeah. To everybody, happy 10th anniversary of APB. I think if APB was a person, he would actually enjoy this interview from people who have cared for the game and who still care for the game. I tried to actually organize something for everybody to actually view some people's opinion about what the game for them was and how it is actually right now. I think I did a decent job. I'm just looking when actually the people when the server is going to be on. I will be going to a low stream soonish. I will do a video still about APP, and then we actually will move on to a low stream probably. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys actually enjoyed the stream, and I will see you at a low stream, I guess. See you later.
See y'all later.